What would you do if it seemed impossible to find the right house and time was not on your side and the clock was ticking? My first client came back to me and was in just that situation. His lease was ending, time was running out, and none of the houses that we saw checked all of his boxes. He had a super specific set of parameters, little flexibility, and time literally was running out. 12 houses, each one of them a dead end. Time kept ticking and the pressure was real. He was under the gun to find the perfect house before his lease was up. Some agents might have told him to lower his standards or settle for less. Others might have just given up on him completely. I saw a father who knew what was right for his family. I didn't see anybody being difficult. Under all that pressure, he was determined to find the right home, and I made it my mission to help him do just that. As options started to dry up and his frustration was building, I had an idea. Want to know how we defied the odds and beat the clock? Stick around, this might just change how you look for your next home. Sometimes the difference between finding the right home and settling for the wrong one comes down to having the right person in your corner. All right, so this is the area that we were looking in at first. We wanted to stay within Lake Mary, which is this red area right here, or we wanted to stay within Sanford, which is this red area right here. And we found some houses. We looked at some houses in that area. And well, let me show you one that we ran into here. You can see the house right here. Problem with it is that it's on a really busy road, right? So looking at the house, it looks great. Maybe it needs a little bit of work. You can see that, you know, the paint job isn't all that great. It's got a beautiful chandelier. The kitchen is really nice and updated, but if you look really closely, you'll see that the quality isn't quite there. This living room in the back had a really nice fireplace, and it was a really good focal point. This is one of the things that we loved about the house. Probably the best thing about the house was the backyard. And it's got a pool that's actually offset away from the house. It's not actually attached to the house, but it is absolutely gorgeous. Check out that fountain, the hot tub, and then off to the side, you got this great area that you could set up with a rock garden. You could do it for play gym for the kids, all kind of fun stuff that you could do over there. But if you look at that wall in the back, just on the other side is a really busy road.
So this is just one of the examples of the 12 we looked at. Each and every one had an issue that was unfortunately non-negotiable. So we kept looking.
Hey, listen, a lot of times my customers, they know what they want. They're pretty absolute on stuff, but sometimes you got to be a little bit flexible. If you can't be flexible on price and you can't be flexible on the number of rooms, maybe you can be flexible on condition. If you can't be flexible on that, maybe you've got to be flexible on location. But you know, at the end of the day, you really need to find some flexibility because there's no perfect house at the inexpensive price that's going to get you everything you want. You're always going to want just a little bit more. So you just have to figure out where you can make that little bit of sacrifice to get what you really want and need. Next up, we went and visited this great house in Oviedo. It's absolutely stunning. You can see that it's got some conservation behind it, which is a really big plus. That kitchen is gorgeous. That pool is absolutely fantastic. The problem with this one was the distance. It was all the way out here in Oviedo, and his family is all the way up here in Sanford. So as we looked at houses, there was always something wrong. Either it needed a little bit too much work or it wasn't exactly in the right area. Maybe there was a busy road behind it that we didn't realize when we booked the showing. There was always something that kept us from wanting to make an offer. Or we did make an offer on one and it got accepted. And then during the inspection period, it just turned out to be needing way too much work. Now this house here, this one we actually ended up making an offer on. It was a really good looking house in Sanford at the right price. You can see it's a really good house. The kitchen is fantastic, lots of room, got a dedicated office, which was a big plus. But if you look closely, there's a lot of issues with this house.
The inspection report uncovered a whole mess of things. The pool coping was a big issue. The estimate for repairs was between $3,000 and $30,000, and we wouldn't know until the job started. It got to be too much.
They found all kinds of things that we just didn't want to have to deal with. So this one got canceled. I kept listening to everything that he was telling me. He would tell me about what was wrong with each house. He was telling me about what was right with each house, what was right with the area that it was in. And what I came to realize was that really the most important thing to him was to have the right number of bedrooms, the pool, and be close to where his kids went to school. As I started to think about all the different options, and he was looking at having to renew his lease, which would have delayed everything for him an entire year, he was definitely not wanting to do. My suggestion was that we went a little bit outside the area, not much, but just a little bit outside the area that he really wanted to be in.
I suggested we checked out the city of DeBary in Volusia County. He hated the idea. He wasn't crazy about it.
But I pushed him hard on it, and after a little bit of back and forth, he at least gave it a shot. And frankly, we found him a great home that met all his needs and was about $100,000 cheaper than it would have been if it was just 15 minutes closer to where his kids went to school. All right, now check out this gorgeous house. This is the one we actually got an offer accepted on. And frankly, if this house was in Lake Mary, it would be $100,000 more than we paid. Look at that pool, man. It is absolutely to die for. Super nice pool, completely refinished deck. Here's the pool from another angle, and you'll notice that nice privacy fence back there. You can do whatever you want in the backyard. Nobody's gonna be looking. Off to the side, you've got this great dining area, barbecue set out there, place for the dogs to go. And check out this aerial view of the backyard. You can see how it's like a little resort, man. It's your own little oasis. You never have to leave. Let's step inside, take a look on the inside. As soon as you walk in, you got a great dining room, you got a living room. Living room leads out onto the back patio, plus you can see that office door. There's a little office. Imagine working there every day. Now check out this kitchen. It's an absolutely beautiful kitchen. Everything in here is custom. You've got black tile, you've got granite with a great vein running through it, black appliances, super modern. Master bedroom is totally renovated, looks fantastic. Got a wall-mounted fireplace. Check out that master bath, absolutely beautiful. And that tub is to die for. Even the secondary bathroom, totally renovated. Check out that custom finish. Now you see that room off to the right of the front door? I think this was the major selling point. The seller had it set up as a nice reading nook. My buyer has a small baby grand piano. That's where he's got it. His kids give him concerts. It's absolutely perfect for them. So there you have it. We got a house in DeBary for $100,000 cheaper than you could have gotten it in Lake Mary, and the buyer is over the top satisfied. And just like that, we found him a home that had everything he needed, under budget and on time. If we would have stayed in the areas that he originally was looking, it would have cost him at least $100,000 more. This is what happens when you work with someone that understands your needs and won't let you settle for less, even when things get tough.